Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. A lot of people seem to be implying, or more than implying, that Tyson Fury deserves a lot of credit for finally signing to fight Oleksandr Usyk. And whereas he deserves a modicum of credit, all right, he's finally signed. Let's not forget the fact that he did duck Usyk for many, many months, lied to the public, talked a load of crap, moved the goalposts, and Uncle Tom Cobley and all. He did everything else that you want to mention. And of course, Fury fanboys will deny all this, but if you could reason with stupid people, there probably wouldn't be any stupid people. They probably wouldn't be stupid. He did all that stuff. And yes, he's signed to fight Usyk now, although it bears mentioning from the off that they haven't got in the ring yet, so things can change. Injuries can occur, or should I say, injuries can occur. Because apparently these contracts are legally binding, and you have to have a legitimate reason to get out of them. But if you've got enough money, you can weasel your way out of it. And I wouldn't put it past Fury doing that. But for me, we should not forget what has gone before, and we should not forget the manner in which Fury has behaved. And a lot of people will blame this on his mental health issues. I've always suspected that, even though I don't want to cast aspersions on anyone who has probably got mental health issues. I mean, I work with people who've got a lot of mental health issues, and that's just the staff. Boom, boom. No, the clients, But I think with Fury, it's probably a behavioural disorder as much as it is mental health. That watching his interviews, that's the impression I get. Bipolar, maybe. I mean, I'm not saying he hasn't got it. But the fact is, the point to make is with anyone who suffers from mental health issues is if they have mental capacity, if they're compos mentis, then they are making informed decisions. And yes, their mental health impacts very often negatively, but you can't just dismiss their behaviour and make an excuse for it. And what's gone before with Fury's lies and ducking Usyk and doing all the other stuff, you can't just dismiss it, and you shouldn't dismiss it because it may rear its head again. Like I say, they're not in the ring yet, and I'm very much of the state of mind of someone who thinks, wake me up when we get there. Now, as far as the Ngannou fight is concerned, let's not forget that although this is a complete walk in the park for Fury, virtually no risk, but unbelievably high reward, he might still get injured. He could get cut. He could, something could happen. He could tear a ligament. You just don't know. Ngannou is, after all, a very big unit. It's under boxing rules, so Fury has nothing to worry about. But at the same time, with the way he's lived his life and the way he's treated his body and the age he's getting towards, it is possible that he could suffer an injury. So that would throw a spanner in the works. But if that happens, who can we blame? Well, we can only blame Fury, because he went for this, very, very low risk, high reward circus act. Not really a contest, not a boxing match. It's just a circus act. And he did it to make a lot of money, despite the fact in the past he said money doesn't matter to him. I'll fight Joshua for free. I'll fight Usyk for free. Give me $500 million to fight Usyk, and all this crap that comes out of his mouth. But a lot of people are saying, well, it was always his intention. This is part of his great master plan because he can do no wrong. It was always his intention to fight Ngannou and then move on to Usyk. Okay, well, let's say that's true. Number one, why didn't he just be honest about it and say, I'm not ready to fight Usyk yet. I want to fight Ngannou. I can make an awful lot of money over in Saudi Arabia. Never mind the issues of, their appalling human rights record. I want that money. Give me that money. I'm going over there. Usyk the same as well, and Joshua. I'm not picking on Fury for that. If he'd have said, "Well, I want this. I want the big bag for fighting Ngannou. It will be a little novelty act, and a lot of people seem to want it, so I'll do it, and then I'll fight Usyk." If he'd have said that, I don't think there would have been as many problems with his behaviour, with the lies he's given to the public. But all this pretense about wanting to fight Usyk, it's really just a load of twaddle, a load of piss and wind. It's stuff that people shouldn't have to put up with. And the Fury fanboys, an incredibly stupid bunch that they are are of course saying, yes, but this is Fury's mind games. You know, this phrase mind games, you know, explain to me the difference between mind games and behaving like a twat. You know, I understand that people have got buttons, psychological buttons that can be pushed, but just throwing a load of insults around and, you know, pretending that you're one thing when actually you're the other. I mean, it's number one, you know, only a weak person allows insults to get to them. Number two, the idea that someone who is in Fury's position has, you know, with all his mental health issues, with all his admitted inability to, you know, be consistent, can somehow plot and plan something long term, I think there's a question mark over that. I don't think it really holds much water. Now, of course, Warren may have been pulling a few strings behind the scenes. He is after all someone who has done this for decades and has no apparent conscience about being economical with the truth, shall we say. So maybe him and Fury were working in conjunction with each other. That's perfectly possible. But again, if you'd been honest with the public and said, I'll get to Usyk later, give me Ngannou, give me that whatever the hell he's earning, tens of millions, I'll do that first and then I'll get to Usyk later on, I think people would be more tolerant of him. So when people talk about heaping praise on Fury for finally signing with Usyk, okay, again, he's signed. He hasn't got in the ring yet, but he's signed. That's a good step forward. But the idea that his fans are, or his fanboys are heaping praise on him, no. As I said before, I'm one of those wake me up when we get there people. I'm not interested in talk anymore. It may also be true that Fury looked at Usyk's performance against Dubois and felt that there was a few more miles on the clock, and there was the knockdown that wasn't against Dubois, and he may feel, okay, he's vulnerable to the body, which people have suspected for a long time, so maybe I'll whack him to the body and chop up Usyk. Okay. But again, that's different to some of the other narratives that are being put forward. What am I saying? Probably that I like honesty, that I like fighters to be honest. And I appreciate in a game of poker you should never show your hand, I get that. But at the same time, as a boxing fan and as a member of the public, I don't like being lied to consistently. And it would not surprise me if we're being lied to right now either. So just a word of caution regarding this fight. It's not over the line yet, they've signed it. Legally binding contracts, but you know, let's not start counting our chickens before they've hatched, as the saying goes. So anyway, what do you think about this? What do you think of Fury? Have you revised your opinion on him? Have you not changed your opinion on him? Do you think he was playing the long game? Do you think it was all a big con? Do you think he is this sort of mastermind, this villainous Bond villain mastermind who can think up great narratives, control a public narrative, and, you know, rather than simply put a statement out there, see how people react and then react to it, which I think is probably closer to what he actually does. But anyway, comments below. Let me hear what you got to say, and we'll have a chat. I'll answer it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the like button as well. Leave a comment. And yeah, there's some boxing on over the weekend. Warrington versus Wood. So I'm looking forward to that one. I've done a preview and a prediction video. Go and have a look at that one. And until then, until I speak to you again, bye for now.